I never expected to do so much fun stuff in Cambodia so fast. I've already been to Siem Reap twice, Phnom Penh, Kampot, and I've seen pretty much all of the tourist attractions there are around Battambang. So, some people might wonder, what am I doing in Cambodia? I do have a job here, and so I moved to Cambodia to work for an international NGO called Siem Borders. So Siem Borders was founded by an Australian couple called Ed and Kate Shuttleworth, who basically came to Cambodia over a decade ago on a volunteer trip, and they saw families in such desperation that they were prostituting their children. And so the question for them became, how can they help? And the answer was education, partly because they saw that as like the systematic cultural change that they could make, and partly because Kate was a teacher, so they had an area of knowledge in education. Also, there was the Khmer Rouge, which I've talked about in my other videos. In the 1970s, it was one of the major genocides of the 20th century, and not only did it wipe out millions of people, but also really targeted intellectuals and teachers. So they set up a Teach the Teacher program, and the idea is that Cambodia already has teachers, so let's improve the quality of those teachers. And then it has since expanded to other programs that includes improving access for kids. And in setting up these programs, they currently need international help, and the end goal being that the international volunteers and the international help that they have will eventually train the local staff, and the entire organization will be transitioned to them. And that's part of what makes it a sustainable solution. So I'm supporting them with marketing and communications, which includes raising awareness. And one of the ways that they fundraise is, well, one of the biggest ways that they get money to continue doing their programs is through corporate donations. So just recently they received a large corporate donation from a corporate called Shape. And Shape sent 10 volunteers over to essentially see where their donation is going to. And so 2 weeks ago in some of my videos where I went out to the schools, and then also that Siem Borders works with, and then also went to Siem Reap and went to Angkor Wat, it was because I was helping host the 10 volunteers that were here for just a week from Australia. So that was a week filled with a lot of hard work, a lot of fun, some great dinners. I got to go out to the schools, and basically I just took photos of the concreting projects and see the health day, the hygiene day, the sports day, and really just make sure that the volunteers were prepared to accomplish the activities that they were completing at the schools. I even got to go back to the circus in Battambang, which if you watched my previous video, you know how I feel about the circus. And then I got to stay in Siem Reap for 2 days and work with a photographer who was taking some professional photos for Siem Borders to sort of improve their marketing and communications. So while that was a fun week and a half for me, and I got to go out into the field, most of my job looks like this. Whereas I spent the last almost 3 years of my career doing strictly email marketing, now I'm back to doing a broad spectrum of marketing that includes social media, public relations, email marketing, and sort of everything in between. And all of the cool things that I'm doing in Cambodia while I'm not at work basically end up in other YouTube videos, but I get a 2-hour lunch break every day where I come home, we usually go to the pool, make lunch, and the rest of my time is really just getting used to life in Cambodia. It's just like really hot.